guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for Ravenswood, Season 1, Episode 10, My Haunted Heart. And, oh my god, this was an amazing finale. I think it was a perfect season finale. I think there was so much that happened in this episode. It was really a big game-changing episode. I really hope this show does get renewed, though, because I don't want it to end this way. I think if they wanted to end it this way, fine, but I really hope this show gets picked up for a season 2 because this episode was amazing. So let's just start off with the episode. We see Mr. Collins. He's snipping a piece of hair from a recently deceased woman. Grunwald comes in with a cup of coffee, asks if he's spoken to Springer. She wants to know if he knows what he needs to do, and Collins says that he does. So then we see Remy, Luke, Olivia, and Caleb. They're chatting in the coffee shop, and then Hanna appears. By the way, speaking of Hanna, I am not reviewing Pretty Little Liars anymore. I've gotten sick of that show. Ravenswood is just so much better than Pretty Little Liars, and, you know, the originals is also on before Pretty Little Liars. That's so much better, and I'm not reviewing Pretty Little Liars anymore. Sorry, guys, I'm not doing it. Hanna enters. Caleb is very surprised to see her. He introduces her to her friends, and the one big thing that Hannah's there for is Miranda. She's there to kind of get her revenge on Miranda. She's hella bent on speaking with Miranda. She wants to know what's going on. Caleb finally tells her that Miranda's dead, but he does tell her that she's not completely gone. So Hanna has trouble believing Caleb's explanation regarding Miranda. He tells her everything that Miranda needs his help with, her unfinished business. But Hanna, of course, thinks Caleb is crazy because who would believe this at this point? Honestly, if I told you guys this person's dead, but they're actually a ghost, would you believe me? No. And the interesting thing is that, you know, Caleb can see Miranda, but for some reason, Miranda does not want to reveal herself to Hanna just yet. And she did not in this episode. So that makes me think that Hanna will be back eventually, because she has to find out that Miranda is actually alive. So, Hanna's sitting in the coffee shop, Grunwald's there, and Grunwald actually gives Hanna some pretty good advice that I really enjoyed. Because Hanna asks who she can sue in this town for making Caleb crazy, and Grunwald says that the veil is thinner here, that even she experiences, and perhaps she shouldn't be so quick to dismiss Caleb's claims. And Grunwald encourages her to stay for a bit longer and to forget about her past Ravenswood experiences. So Hanna listens, and she also thanks Grunwald for saving Allie, pulling Allie out of the grave in Pretty Little Liars. So, you know, I think that is eventually going to come back into play on this show because, you know, Grunwald's on this show, not Pretty Little Liars. It should be interesting to see where that goes. So, Hanna attempts to reconnect with Caleb. She reveals she came to fight with Miranda, and after all she's come to know, she's now sad. And you know what? I actually really liked Hanna's character in this episode. She's not stupid. She's not dumb. You know, she just made assumptions, and it didn't work. That happens to people all the time. Ravenswood can take characters from Pretty Little Liars and make them less dumb. It seems like the people in Pretty Little Liars, Hannah's really dumb now in Pretty Little Liars, but she's not dumb on Ravenswood. She's not. So Caleb and Hanna, they're now sitting in the park. Caleb leaves to answer the phone, and the girl Max, the girl in the red coat, comes by, and she asks Hanna, "Do you want to meet my friend?" Now Hanna agrees. Caleb sees Hanna walking off the small girl, runs after her. He pulls her away from the girl, he says, "You cannot go with her," and not to look back. And Hanna does turn around, but Max has disappeared, and it turns out that the person that is not there now. And also, Hanna wants to know what's going on. Caleb says he'll explain. They leave the park. And it's that bruised-faced woman who, with the spiders last week, you know, she was a woman associated with the spiders. She's now where Max stood. And that's really creepy, honestly. I didn't know what was going on. So Hanna then, we get a really big scene with Hanna, and I really loved Ashley Benson's performance in this scene. I thought she did a great job here. She sits in a funeral home. She tries to connect with Miranda by talking to her. What she doesn't know is that Miranda is sitting right there, but she's still not ready to reveal herself to Hanna just yet. So they have a special moment, though Hanna can't seem to hear Miranda, which was really sad if you think about it, because Miranda, you know, wants to talk to Hanna, but for some reason she's not revealing herself to Hanna just yet. So then Hanna prepares to take a bath, which is the worst thing you can do on the show because we know what happened to Caleb. And once, Hannah's taking a bath, the ghost woman spider crawls on the edge of the bathtub, and Caleb realizes that Hannah's in the bathtub that he had a strange experience in and tells her to get out immediately. Caleb then gets a text saying that Remy is missing, and, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little while, but as far as Hannah's plot ends, it ends with Hanna preparing to leave Ravenswood, and Caleb asks her to trust him, and they actually kiss in this episode, so it makes me think they are back together. That does make me think that, and it should be interesting to see where this goes, because I thought that was just really, really great, and I really did like that. But the best part of this episode was not that. I mean, Hanna coming back was great because it did add something to the show, but there was definitely more to this. The other plot had to do with Luke and Remy and Olivia and Dillon. Basically, what happened with Luke and Remy and Olivia is that we see Remy and Luke, they're discovering that the boy who appeared to her in the last episode, they find his picture in his local archives of old Ravenswood newspapers, and Dillon is creeping on them at this point. Dillon, by the way, very creepy in this episode. I noticed that. Remy and Luke then identify the ghost she saw as Ryan Atwater. We don't know who that is, though. So Remy, Olivia, and Luke, they wonder if the blind ghost Remy's been seeing can reveal information about her father's death. And Remy, Luke, and Olivia, they sneak around, find themselves in an office. They ask the ghost if there's anything they need to see. And Luke, Remy, and Olivia try to summon the ghost in their dad's office, but they don't have much luck. When they go to leave, the ghost appears, gives the children a vision, and the vision reveals that their father knew about the pact. That was a big thing. 2, Dillon walks in, and he is the one that killed their father. And Olivia is crushed about this. Probably because Luke tried to warn her last episode and she didn't believe him. She's really upset about that as well. And as Dillon runs out of the office, he drops a book, puts it back on the bookshelf, and once the game returns to reality, Remy goes over to the shelf, grabs the book she saw drop inside. She finds Dillon's thumbprint. And then they all meet at the coffee shop. They try to find a way to get authorities to search their father's office again, and Olivia admits that she doesn't want the cops to find Dillon. She wants to actually kill him because she is furious at Dillon because Dillon completely lied to her the last time. She's furious at Dillon for killing her father, and I was very surprised by how quick she shifted in not believing Luke about Dillon and actually, giving Dillon a second chance to wanting to kill him at this point. That's what she wants to do. She's like, I want to find him and I want to kill him. And I thought that was amazing. I really liked that her character, Olivia, finally woke up. I mean, it's not like, I was upset that she wasn't believing them. It was that, she was so in love. This was like her first boyfriend, the one that she lost her virginity to. So, of course, she did not believe them. So then we see they're trying to, Remy goes home to look for her father. Dillon's there waiting for her. He says she's not going to reveal anything. He then attacks her, knocks her out, drags her body from the house. Here is where the episode gets really intense and finale-like, because at this point I'm like, this isn't really feeling much like a finale. I thought that plot was, but Hanna coming back, I'm like, this isn't feeling a lot like a finale. Here is where it did. He gets a text saying that Remy is missing. Caleb confronts Collins. He demands answers. Caleb says that Remy is missing and wants to know why he might know about it. Caleb says there's a direct line between Springfield, Dillon, and you. And Caleb thinks that Collins knows something. And Caleb lets slip that Dillon stabbed the mayor, and Collins, who just admitted that his family has never killed anyone. So he didn't know that Dillon was responsible for the death of Luke and Olivia's father. Collins then goes on to reveal his family's role in the town of Ravenswood. He says that members of the family always been undertakers. He reveals that it's been his family's job to hold the essence of the children that packed in those jars, and he admits that countless people have tried to break the curse. And then they receive another text from Remy's phone, and Caleb identifies the environment from the chapel on the Collins estate. At this point, Hanna is nowhere to be found. She's more in the first half of the episode. The second half was more of this. Dillon then walks in. Remy is just coming onto the floor. They try to leave, but just as they do, the chapel's stained glass window starts flashing, and out from the floor rises Abaddon, who, if you remember, in the very beginning of one of the season of the not the season, but when it came back, episode 6, Abaddon was the man responsible for delivering the pack. So he says to Dillon, "Well done, my loyal and faithful servant." He then tells Miranda that her death need not be permanent, and he knows what she really wants. He starts muttering a strong language, begins bringing her back to life, but Miranda feels a lot of pain while this is happening. Dillon then runs from the chapel. Max appears behind him. He tells her to shut up. Dillon understands why Abaddon turned on him. Max says, "Don't worry, I'm going to help you get away." She takes him somewhere, but she actually takes him to train tracks. Train tracks at this point. That's where they go. They go to train tracks, and Dillon trips over the train tracks. He's stuck and unable to break free, and he gets free, and he gets hit by a train. So, Dillon got hit by a train, and he's dead. I did not think they would kill Dillon off. Honestly, that scene was like, oh my god, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? And this was just weird. There were some legitimately creepy scenes in this episode, and I thought that was definitely one of them. Was a scene where he got hit by a train. Definitely, that was creepy, because I did not expect that to happen at all, and that was amazing, too, because I just thought that was really, really great. I will say that Dillon was a really great character. I really liked his acting, but he's dead now. Although he could come back as a ghost, because it's one of those type of shows. So he tells Miranda that her death need not be permanent. He knows what, okay. So Mr. Collins then runs into the chapel to stop everything. He reveals that Abaddon is actually only bringing Miranda back because he needs to kill all the children together at the same time to reap his payment. In an attempt to thwart him, Collins smashes one of his glass jars on the floor, realizes that the only reason why Abaddon lured them to the chapel is because he's too weak to attack them in the real world. This breaking of the jar causes Abaddon to flee the church, and the gang wonders who Collins released, and it's actually the original Caleb Rivers. So Miranda then sits on a bench alone. We see the original Caleb Rivers. She's pretty much crushed at this point because she just saw Hanna and Caleb kiss and everything, and she's really upset because, as we know, Miranda is in love with Caleb. But then she sees the original Caleb Rivers, the one who died. She runs towards her, asks if it's really her. They meet in the same place where Caleb asks Miranda to marry him, and they look happy together. So that is where this ends, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here. You know, now Miranda's engaged to Caleb, so is Miranda back to no longer being a ghost? I don't know. I thought Miranda was actually going to no longer be a ghost, but I guess we have to wait till season 2. If there is a season 2, please give us a season 2. Ravenswood is by far one of my favorite shows. I've loved reviewing it. It is such a great show. So intense. Every single episode this season has been fantastic. I haven't seen one bad episode all season. This was by far the best episode of the season. I will say that I'd actually like to see Hanna stay in Ravenswood. I'd like to see her leave Pretty Little Liars and stay in Ravenswood because her character is much more interesting in this setting. I like her a lot more here. I think she works better here, and I like her character more here. So here's my question for you guys. What's going to happen with Miranda and the new Caleb Rivers? In the old Caleb Rivers, do you think they're actually going to get married? What do you think is going to happen there? Is Dillon actually dead? I'm assuming he is dead. But could he come back as a ghost or something? We now know that we cannot trust Max. We cannot trust the Devil Girl. We know that for a fact now. What do you think is going to happen there? I actually thought Collins was actually going to be killed off in this episode because of the way it was working and everything. We now know more about the 5-pack, so there's more to talk about, but I really, really love this episode. I thought it was a great finale. Let me know what you guys saw of the finale. Did you think this was the best episode? I really did think it was the best episode of the season. It wasn't as creepy as the mid-season finale, but everything really tied together well in this one. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what season 2 will give us, if we do get a season 2, because I really hope it gets renewed. Don't cancel this show. If they cancel this show, I'm going to be really upset, but I don't think they will because it's gotten really good ratings. That's it for my review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review of Justified. So see you then. Bye.